Today was supposed to be my wedding day with Bai Ningbing. But when she arrived at the venue in her wedding dress, the banquet hall was completely empty. Only her family members were left, looking displeased. Meanwhile, I was on my way back to the company. Her fingers quickly swiping on the tablet, reporting in a calm voice. The bank has already been notified. President Wang said they would immediately freeze Manyu's loan. And General Manager Liu Chuangke also confirmed that they would, according to our conditions, take over Manyu's client resources. I leaned back in my seat, resting my eyes. I felt a bit melancholy and a bit regretful. Bai Ningbing was someone I personally mentored for 5 years, from the stumbling start of his venture. So now, when Manyu Technology has a small reputation in the industry, I watched him grow step by step, and I was used to being there when he was in a mess, silently clearing obstacles for him. He is stubborn and proud, always wanting to prove he does not need anyone's protection. So I never told him. Behind those deals he thought he closed by luck. How many paths I paved in secret, those policy windfalls he thought he just happened to catch. How many strings I would already pull did not matter at all. I never wanted his gratitude. All I wanted was, when he stood by my side, that defiant sparkle in his eyes, and when he occasionally leaned on me, that reluctant Zhang Zhiheng helped me out. Until this morning, I was still so excited. He was finally going to become my wife. In the mirror, my expression was calm, but my heart was beating a little faster than usual. Is that Joe Rui appeared silently behind me, handing over a document. Sir, final confirmation of the wedding process. Tiningnan ko saglit. Tumango ako, 30 minuto na lang bago magsimula ang seremonya. Dumating na lahat ng bisita. Dapat nakapagpalit na si Bai Ningbing ng wedding gown. Naghihintay sa dressing room, handa na si Bai Xiao sa kanyang panig. Ate, 20 minuto na ang nakalipas mula nang matapos ang suot at buhok. Tumigil si Joe Rui at nagdagdag, pero parang balisa siya. Nagtaas ako ng kilay, anong problema? Hindi ba dumarating si Asterisk Chen? Ang pangalang Chen Hong ay nagpahinto sa aking mga daliri. Personally Asterisk ni Bai Ningbing, isang binata na may katamtamang kakayahan. Pero labis siyang pinahahalagahan ng kanyang amo. Wala pang 1 taon sa trabaho. Nakasali na sa mga pangunahing proyekto ng kumpanya. Kahit ang kasal ngayon, ipinilit ni Bai Ningbing na siya ang mag-ingat ng wedding ring at mahahalagang dokumento, dahil kamukha niya ang kanyang namatay na unang pag-ibig. He never explicitly stated this reason, but I know better than anyone about the traffic jam. My tone was flat and unclear. Miss Bai also called twice to urge and ask. Chen only said they were still on the way. I glanced at the time, and said no more. Then I walked to the dressing room, pushed open the door. Bai Ningbing was standing by the window with her back to me. The train of the wedding dress spread out on the floor. She heard the sound. She turned around suddenly. Her makeup was perfect. Her eyebrows and eyes were delicate. Lip color was bright. Skin was snow white. But her expression carried a hint of rare panic. Her fingers tightly gripped the phone. Zhang Zhiheng walked quickly over. High heels stepped on the carpet. I was brooding, thinking that Chen Hong still had not arrived. I reached out and held his shoulder. Steady him. Do not rush. What is going on? He said he was stuck on the highway. It will take at least another hour to get here. His voice was trembling slightly. The wedding ring is with him, and the final version of the supplementary agreement with the investors, the process USB drive, all of it is with him. I frowned slightly. Traffic jam on the highway at this time. Tell him to give the items to a courier or share his location. I will send someone to pick it up. I said calmly, the wedding won't be delayed. No, he retorted almost immediately. His fingers instinctively clenched around my cuff. Those things are too important. Can't be handled by others. At saka, Asterisk ko siya. Siya ay na-stuck sa daan. Paano ko siya pababayaan? Ipagpaliban na lang natin ang kasal. 1 oras lang. Okay. Ang kanyang mga mata ay kumislap. Parang may konsensya. Pero mabilis na napalitan ng katigasan ng ulo. Tahimik ko siyang tiningnan. Alam niya kung gaano kahalaga ang okasyong ito. Ang mga nangungunang pandaigdigang kasosyo. Ang mga maimpluwensyang tao sa industriya. Pati na rin ang ilang matatandang miyembro ng Shanghai Group. Lahat sila ay nakaupo sa upuan ng mga panauhin sa labas. Naghihintay na masaksihan ng kasal na ito. Pero gusto niyang ipagpaliban ng kasal para sa isang Asterisk. Bai Ningbing, dahan-dahan kong sinabi. Ang boses ay napakalambot, ngunit bawat salita ay malinaw. Isipin mong mabuti kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng pag-alis mo ngayon. Ang kanyang mga pilikmata ay nanginginig, but did not back down. Just 1 hour. The guests could understand him. Understanding this, I chuckled softly. I traced my hand along his jawline. The pressure was neither too light nor too heavy, but it made him instinctively flinch. Do you think the time of everyone here, including me, is worth less than a late Asterisk? His expression shifted. That is not what I meant. But Chen Hong, I cut him off. My gaze turned completely cold. He is more important than your wedding today. More important than everyone present. More important than me. The last words were nearly forced out through gritted teeth. He opened his mouth, as if to defend himself, but in the end, he just bit his lip. Stubbornly turned his face away. Zhang Zhiheng, sobra ka naman sa pag-aalala. 1 oras lang naman. Hintayin mo ako. Normal lang ang lahat. Pagkasabi niya, kinuha niya ang susi ng kotse sa mesa, at humataw palabas na suot pa ang wedding gown. Tumayo lang ako, hindi ko siya pinigilan. Ito ang pinili niya. Malakas na sumara ang pinto. Nag-ingay na parang pangarap. Tahimik na nakakatakot ang dressing room. Tumingin ako sa wedding ring sa daliri ko. At dahan-dahan itong hinubad. Sumara ang pinto ng dressing room sa likod ko. Tinatakpan ng mga yapak ni Bai Ningbing na paalis. Nakatayo ako sa anino ng hallway. At nakita ko, walang malay na hinahaplos ang nahubad na wedding ring. Ang gilid ng platinum ay damaykit sa daliri. Malinaw ang maliit na sakit. Nagpapaalala sa akin kung gaano ito kabaliw. Para sa isang A** Eastern, isang walang kwentang tao na hindi man lang makapunta sa tamang oras. Pumikit ako. At nagimulat ko ang aking mga mata. Ang huling init sa aking mga mata ay nawala na. Sa dulo ng koridor, tahimik na lumitaw si Joe Rui. Napako ang tingin niya sa aking walang laman na singsing na daliri. Bahagyang kumislap ang kanyang mga mata, ngunit wala siyang tinanong. Ginoo, 20 minuto pa bago ang nakatakdang seremonya. Tahimik niya akong pinaalalahanan tungkol sa mantle. Naglakad siya papunta sa pangunahing bulwagan. Sa sandaling itulak ang pinto ng pangunahing bulwagan. Sumalubong sa akin ang ingay ng mga usapan at tawanan. Masyadong maliwanag ang ilaw ng kristal na chandelier. Ang champagne tower ay nagpapakita ng mga sinag na nakakasakit ng mga mata. Ang lahat ng bisita ay may kanya-kanyang hangarin. May ngiting hindi taos puso sa kanyang mukha. Para bang lahat ay nalulunod sa peking ligaya. Napaka-iron iko. Walang ekspresyon akong dumaan sa karamihan patungo sa pangunahing entablado. Matatag ang aking mga hakbang. Maging mahinahon ang aking kilos. Ngunit unti-unting hamina ang ingay sa paligid. Mga sulyap na puno ng pag-aalinlangan. O mga sulyap ng pagtatanong ay nakatitig sa akin. Bakit mag-isa si Boss Zhang? Nasaan ang nobya? May nangyari ba? Ang mga bulungan ay kumakalat na parang alon. Binaliwala ko ang lahat. Dumiretso ako sa pangunahing entablado. Kinuha ang mikropono. Mga kaibigan, pinalalakas ng sound system ang aking boses. Malinaw na kumalat sa buong bulwagan. Ang natitirang paputol-putol na usapan ay biglang nawala. Tahimik ang buong paligid. Nakatuon sa akin ang tingin ng lahat. I calmly scanned the audience, and slowly began to speak. I am very sorry. At this moment that should be filled with joy. To disturb everyone. Just now, something regrettable happened. I paused for a second, in a cold tone, calmly reciting an irrelevant fact. The bride, Ms. Bai Ningbing, believes that her personal A** assistant, Mr. Chen Hong, due to some reason, cannot arrive on time. This matter is more important and urgent than our months-long wedding preparations, than the goodwill of all of you who traveled from afar, than the feelings of her future husband. All of it is more important and urgent. Therefore, she decided to personally drive to the highway to pick up A** assistant Chen. The moment I finished speaking, the audience erupted in an uproar. Some people gasped. Some people widened their eyes in disbelief. Some even took out their phones and started filming. I could already imagine tomorrow's financial section and what the gossip media would write on their front pages. Shocking news. Bride abandons groom on wedding day to pick up male A** assistant. Bai Ningbing, CEO of Manu Technology, cancels wedding for her A** assistant. I gave a slight smirk, but my eyes were icy cold. Based on Bai Ningbing's clear choice and priority selection. I continued, in a calm, even tone, but it silenced the entire venue once again. This wedding has already lost its intended meaning and foundation, so Zhang Zhiheng hereby officially announces, the wedding scheduled for today is permanently cancelled. The word cancelled struck like a thunderclap. The audience instantly erupted into chaos, gasps and murmurs, mixed with the sound of cameras clicking. Some stood up to ask questions. Others tried to step forward. The scene was total chaos. I remained indifferent and gave a slight bow. For the inconvenience and losses caused today, my A** assistant, Mr. Joe Rui, will take full responsibility and provide reasonable compensation. Once again, I offer my deepest apologies. Please, feel free to do as you wish. The manners were perfect. The words were appropriate, yet more devastating than any angry roar. After speaking, I put down the microphone and turned to walk toward the stage. A waiter stood nearby holding a tray of champagne. Ang mukha ay may bakas ng hindi pa nawawalang pagkagulat. Huminto ako sa paglalakad. Inilahad ko ang aking palad. Ang singsing sa kasal ay tahimik na nakahiga doon. Nagniningning ng malamig na liwanag. Walang anumang pag-aatubili. Dinawag ko sa pamagitan ng aking mga daliri. Isang malinaw na tunog ng ding. Ang singsing ay naglarawan ng isang arko sa hangin. Tumpak itong nahulog sa baso ng champagne sa tray ng namatay. Ang gintong alak ay bahagyang nanginginig. Ang singsing ay dahan-daang lumubog sa ilalim. Parang isang tahimik na libing. Katahimikan sa buong lugar. Lumakad ako patungo sa pintuan sa gilid ng hindi lumilingon. Si Joran ay lumitaw sa tabi ko na parang multo. Ang boses ay napakababa. Ginoo, handa na ang kotse. Tumulog siya, ngunit hindi huminto ang mga hakbang. Sa likod ko, muling sumabog ang ingay sa bulwagan. I could faintly hear someone shouting accusations. Someone was on the phone. Others had already started rushing out, probably to chase after Bai Ningbing or to chase the news. But none of this had anything to do with me anymore. The moment I pushed open the side door, a cold wind hit my face. The sky was overcast. Dark clouds hung low, as if a storm was about to break. Joe Rui quickly followed. Next, I pulled open the car door. His voice was terrifyingly calm. Initiate a contingency plan. I want to make him understand what he has truly lost. The wind howled on the highway. Bai Ningbing gripped the steering wheel so tightly her knuckles turned white. In the ** anger seat was the crumpled skirt of a wedding dress. It was at this moment that the phone rang. Ang boses ng matalik kong kaibigan na si Linley ay may paghagulgol. Ningbing, bumalik ka na. Zhang Zhiheng, Zhang Zhiheng. Kinansela niya ang kasal. Si Bai Ningbing, na nagdeklara sa harap ng lahat, biglang apak ng preno. Ang mga gulong ay kumiskis sa lupa na may nakakabinging ingay. Ang kanyang boses ay hindi tulad ng dati. Sinabi niya sa harap ng lahat, na sa tingin mo, si Chen Hong ay mas mahalaga kaysa sa kasal. Kaysa sa mga bisita, mas mahalaga kaysa sa kanya. Kaya inanunsyo niya na kanselado ang kasal. At itinapon niya ang iyong singsing pangkasal sa baso ng champagne. Blanco ang isip ni Bai Ningbing. Umugang ang kanyang mga tainga. Si Linley ay may sinasabi pa, ngunit wala siyang marinig na kahit isang salita. Kanselahin ang kasal dahil lang isang oras siyang huli. Paano makakarating si Zhang Zhiheng? Nanginginig siyang nagbaba ng telepono. Nanginginig ang kanyang mga daliri sa pagdial ng numero ni Zhang Zhiheng. **, the number you are calling is temporarily unavailable. Calling again, still the same cold automated message. He is sending messages like crazy. Zhang Zhiheng, are you crazy? Just because I was an hour late, you canceled the wedding. How can you be so heartless, so unreasonable? Pick up the phone. No reply to his messages. Panic and anger surge over him like a tide, drowning his reason. He slammed his fist on the steering wheel. The horn let out a piercing sound. The car behind honked in frustration. He then realized his car was still stopped in the middle of the highway. He took a deep breath, forcing himself to calm down. First, find Chen Hong, get the wedding ring and documents. So, what happens next? Go back and marry Zhang Zhiheng, finish the wedding. Or just have a huge fight with him. He does not know, but at this moment, he can only step on the gas and keep driving forward. This Zhang Zhiheng. Once I pick up Chen Hong, I will make sure you regret it, but he does not know. Chen Hong never got on the highway. She is now browsing her phone in a convenience store. But I did him a favor by sending the location to Bai Ningbing, so he can see for himself what exactly he gave up the wedding for. I look out at the blurry scenery outside the window, but my thoughts are unusually clear. Bai Ningbing should have already gotten the news that the wedding is cancelled. He will be furious, will be confused, and hysterically call and text me. But he will never get a response. The phone vibrated in my pocket. I took it out and glanced at it. One after another, unread messages popped up on the screen. Zhang Zhiheng, are you crazy? Just because I was an hour late, you canceled the wedding. How can you be so heartless? Answer the phone, let US talk. Do you know what you are doing? The last one was sent 5 minutes ago. Wait for me, I will be right back. I locked the screen expressionlessly and tossed the phone aside. But it was too late. The convenience store's door was pushed open violently, hitting the wall with a loud bang. Bai Ningbing stood at the door, the hem of her wedding dress already soaked by the rain, sticking to her calves, malamig na parang yelo, basang-basa ang buhok niya at dumidikit sa mukha, nag-smudge ang kanyang makeup, mukha siyang sobrang gasgasan. Sa loob ng convenience store, ilang customer ay nagtaka at tiningnan siya. Sa sulok, si Chen Hong ay naka-cross legs at naglalaro ng cellphone. Sa tabi niya ay may kape na kalahati na lang. Magulo ang buhok niya. May malinaw na dark circles sa kanyang mga mata. May amoy alak siya ng bahagya. At murang pabango. Wala siyang itsura ng na-traffic. Nagyelo ang dugo ni Bai Ningbing. Ang boses ni Chen Hong ay malamig na parang yelo. Biglang tumingala si Chen Hong. Biglang nagbago ang mukha niya nang makita siya. Nagmamadali siyang tumayo. Nahulog ang cellphone sa sahig ng malakas. Pangulong Bai, bakit nandito kayo? Nauutal siyang nagsalita. Naglalaboy ang kanyang mga mata. Tatawag sana ako ng sasakyan pa uwi. Ang sobrang traffic sa daan. Dumating lang ako rito para magpahinga. Mahigpit na tinitigan siya ni Bai Ningbing. Mabilis ang pag-akyat baba ng kanyang dibdib. Kasinungalingan, puro kasinungalingan. Para sa kasinungalingang ito, iniwan niya ang kanyang sariling kasal. Iniwan si Zhang Zhiheng. Iniwan ang lahat ng mga bisita. At ngayon, ang walang kwentang ito ay nakatayo sa harap niya. Hindi maayos ang damit. Puro kabaliwan ang sinasabi. Sumakay ka. Aniya nang may pagngingipin. Tumalikod at umalis. Si Chen Hong ay nagmamadaling kinuha ang kanyang bag at sumunod kay Pangulong Bai. Makinig po kayo sa aking paliwanag. I really did not mean to. Last night I had a business dinner and drank too much. This morning I overslept. I was afraid you would be furious. Bai Ningbing suddenly turned her head. Her eyes were as sharp as a knife. Shut up. Chen Hong instantly fell silent. The atmosphere in the car heading back to the city was suffocatingly tense. Bai Ningbing gripped the steering wheel tightly. Her knuckles turned white. The rain was falling harder and harder. The windshield wipers were swinging wildly, but they still could not see the road ahead clearly. At that moment, his phone started buzzing frantically. Chen Hong, in the ** anger sit, hastily handed it over. It is for you, President Bai. Bai Ningbing glanced at it. It was the number of Vice President Zhang Lin. He pressed the answer button. Before he could even say a word, Zhang Lin's trembling voice came through. Boss Bai, something terrible has happened. A certain bank just notified US that the 30 million yuan bridge loan approval has been blocked. The reason is questionable qualifications. Tomorrow we have to pay 8 million to Xinyuan Technology. What about the payment? Bai Ningbing's breath caught. What? Even worse. Zhang Lin's voice was almost breaking. We just received an email from Chuangke Intelligent. They unilaterally terminated all cooperation. That is our biggest client. Bai Ningbing's vision went dark. Chuangke Intelligent, goodly. That was the core client Manyu Technology relied on to survive, accounting for 70% of the company's revenue. He hung up the phone in a panic. opened his email. As expected, an email from Chuanke was prominently listed. The Manyu Technology, Jin Tingo, your company's recent management has significant uncertainties, unable to guarantee supply chain stability and subsequent service support. We formally notify the termination of all cooperation between both parties. The agreement takes effect immediately. No, this can't be, he murmured to himself. His fingers trembled as he scrolled down. Immediately after, a WeChat voice message autoplayed. President Bai, I heard there was a situation at the wedding. The investor's voice was cold and distant. We are very concerned about the company's stability. The originally scheduled signing next week. We need to as the risks will be put on hold temporarily. The phone clicked as it was set down on the seat. Bai Ningbing's mind went completely blank. Loan rejected. Biggest client pulled out funding. Investors cancelled the agreement. It all happened too fast, too coincidental, like a premeditated siege. And the one who could mobilize such power in an instant was only one person, Zhang Zhiheng, not the road. All because of such a trivial matter. He had to be willful and make a scene, causing me so much trouble. He tremblingly grabbed his phone, instinctively dialed Zhang Zhiheng's number. H*low. The number you have dialed is temporarily unavailable. The cold, robotic female voice hit him like a bucket of ice water. He refused to give up. He then used the company landline to call Zhang Zhiheng's office. This time, it connected. H*low, Kitchen Capital. Joe Ru's voice was polite but distant. Isn't Joe. I am Bai Ningbing. I am looking for Zhang Zhiheng. Then his voice almost cracked on the phone. There was a second of silence on the other end. Sorry, Miss Bai. Joe Ru's voice was terrifyingly calm. Mister, Zhang is not available to take any calls right now, especially from Manyu Technology. Goodbye. The call was hung up cleanly. The dial tone echoed in her ear. Bai Ningbing stood frozen in place. Her hand, gripping the steering wheel, trembled uncontrollably. Zhang Zhiheng had blocked her. Not just his personal number. He even cut off all the ways she could contact him. This realization made her feel like she had fallen into an ice cave. President Bai, what happened? Shen Hong asked cautiously. Bai Ningbing suddenly turned to look at him. The despair and anger in her eyes made him shrink back. The wedding is cancelled, he said word by word. Because you were late. Shen Hong's expression instantly changed. Cancelled. His voice rose with exaggerated disbelief. Just because I was late by an hour. Brother Zhang Zhiheng is too petty. Ningbing, this really is not my fault. Who knew he could not take a joke? He does not even give you face. He kept rambling on, his tone frivolous, as if discussing an unimportant party. The company is about to go under. Bai Ningbing interrupted him, her voice hoarse. Loan application rejected. Clients withdrawing funds. Investors running away is all because of Zhang Zhiheng. Shen Hong was stunned for a moment, then waved his hand casually. Don't rush. Maybe it is a misunderstanding. Brother Zhang Zhiheng is just angry. Coax him and it will be fine. Besides, with your abilities, why worry about handling this? His tone was outrageously casual, even carrying a hint of hidden schadenfreude. Bai Ningbing stared fixedly at his face. This face that looked so much like Jiang Kong now seemed so unfamiliar and ugly. He suddenly realized what a huge mistake he had made. For such a waste, what he had lost. Get out, he said coldly. Shen Hong was stunned. What? I told you to get out. He slammed on the brakes. The tires on the wet and slippery road screeched loudly. Shen Hong lurched forward from inertia, almost hitting the windshield. Are you crazy? This is a highway. Get out now. His voice was sharp, unlike himself. The fierceness in his eyes made Shen Hong shut up instantly. He angrily grabbed his backpack, pushed open the car door, and muttered psycho under his breath. He messed up and takes it out on me. The car door slammed shut. Bai Ningbing stepped on the gas, and the car shot forward. The splashing mud water drenched Shen Hong. In the rearview mirror, he saw him jumping and cursing in the rain, his figure growing smaller and smaller. Finally, they disappeared into the curtain of rain. He could no longer control himself. He lay on the steering wheel, sobbing loudly. Everything was over. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows of the top-floor conference room of Shanghai Group, the rain was pouring down. I stood by the window, holding the report that had just been delivered. It detailed the collapse of Manyu Technology over the past 72 hours. Banks calling in loans, clients canceling contracts, supply chain disruptions, everything was progressing according to plan. Zhou Rui stood behind me, his voice calm. Lin Wei and Zhang Zi have signed their employment agreements. They officially joined Shanghai Intelligent Research Institute this morning. As per your instructions, their salaries have been doubled, and their project autonomy has been doubled. I made a subtle move, poached by Ningbing's core team. It was the fatal blow. Without the key technical staff, Manulian could not even deliver the most basic orders. What about the tax bureau? They have already found 3 problematic contracts involving Chen Hongjin. A sneer appeared on Zhou Ru's lips. One of them is a procurement agreement for a smart home module. The signing party is a SH**L company. The flow of funds is suspicious. Also, in his travel expenses from last month, a large amount of personnel expenses were mixed in. I turned around and threw the report on the table. Send it anonymously to the Bureau of Industry and Commerce. It is already half done. Zhou Rui pushed up his yes. Also, Shen Hong met with Zixing last night. Their VP Wang was at Lanshan Cafe. All recording equipment is in place. Tumingin ako sa labas ng bintana. Ang lungsod sa libingan ay malabo. Parang ang sitwasyon ni Bai Ningbing ngayon. Malamang hindi pa niya namamalayan. Ang bagyong ito ay nagsisimula pa lamang kumalat. Ang tech office ay patay at walang buhay. Nang itulak ni Bai Ningbing ang asterisk door, ilang empleyadong nagbubulungan ay agad na tumahimik. Bumalik sila sa kanilang mga pwesto na may iwas ng tingin. Isang kakaibang katahimikan ang pumuno sa hangin. Para bang alam ng lahat na babagsak na ang gusali. Naghihintay na lamang sa huling dayami na mahulog. Ang kanyang mga takong ay tumapak sa marble floor. Ang tunog ay lalong matinis. Hindi pa nakasara ang pinto ng opisina. Si Zhang Lin ay nagmamadaling pumasok. Presidente Bai, may masamang balita. Bago pa man matapos ang kanilang sinabi, tatlong liham ng pagbibitiw ay nakalapag na sa mesa. Ang technical director na si Lin Wei ay nakatayo sa harapan. His eyes were complicated but determined. President Bai, I am sorry. Sheng Huan's newly established Smart Home Research Institute gave you as an offer we could not refuse. Bai Ningbing's fingers dug tightly into his palm. Sheng Huan, that name he had never heard before, at this moment crawled into his ears like a viper. Double salary, project autonomy, Lin Wei smiled bitterly, and absolute stability. We know living now is unkind, but people have to think about themselves. Zhang Zhiheng lowered their heads, not daring to look at him. Bai Ningbing's vision went dark. These three people are the technological core of Manyu. Once they leave, the company will immediately be paralyzed. He forced himself to maintain the last shred of dignity and signed. Just after seeing them out, the financial director rushed in with a pale face. President Bai, Sinyuan Technology has hacked and shut down the production line. It has already stopped working. Other suppliers are demanding payment. Then came the HR director. The bank sent someone just now. They demand we repay the first loan within 3 days. Finally, the front desk's internal call, President Bai. People from the Tax Bureau and the Industry and Commerce Bureau have arrived, saying it is a surprise inspection. Bai Ningbing collapsed into her chair. She felt the whole world crumbling before her eyes. The next 3 hours were like a nightmare. The Tax Bureau people were very focused. They went straight to Chen Hongjin's accounts. That usually smooth-talking asterisk assistant now looked ashen-faced. Under the sharp questioning of the auditors, he stammered. This might be a financial audit oversight. The travel expenses for that supplier were arranged by President Bai. I might have taken the wrong invoice. Bai Ningbing watched his poor performance. Emotion surged for Li's hen. The inspectors finally identified 3 problematic contracts, and nearly 100,000 in renewal fees. Before leaving, the lead official said meaningfully, President Bai, your company's financial management is very problematic. As soon as they left, Bai Ningbing dragged Chen Hong into the office. Ever since I cancelled the wedding, Bai Ningbing and his company fell into an unprecedented crisis. After being investigated by the Tax Bureau, Bai Ningbing did not say a word and called Shen Hong to the office. What exactly did you do behind my back? Shen Hong's eyes flickered. Ningbing, listen to my explanation. These are all misunderstandings. A sudden email notification sound came from the computer. An anonymous email. Attached were audio files and photos. The moment Bai Ningbing opened the audio, Shen Hong's voice came through clearly. Wang, Mengai, you really can't make it this time. Zhang Zhiheng is going to destroy him. I know their core client, Chuangke, and who their contact person is, and the design direction of their next generation product. As long as you are willing to take me in, give me a position, I can get all of this for you. The Bai Ningbing, he is just a foolish woman, stung by her first love and then found a substitute, serves her right in the photo. Shen Hong was shaking hands amiably with the vice president of Zhikshang Technology. On the table, the folder obviously contains Cranberry's internal documents. The air froze. Bai Ningbing slowly looked up. Her orange-red face had turned pale as paper. Ningbing, this is fabricated. Someone is framing me. He grabbed the computer and hurled it at him. Get lost. Shen Hong dodged. His expression suddenly twisted. What is with that pretentious aloofness? If the company goes under, you will be worthless. He yanked his tie loose, revealing his true colors. Do you really think Zhang Zhiheng fancies him? He is just toying with you. I have long had enough of your condescending attitude, treating me like a substitute. He suddenly lunged to snatch the computer. Bai Ningbing could not dodge in time and was pushed to the ground. Shen Hong seized the chance and rushed out the door. Before leaving, he still turned back to curse. Serves you right for going bankrupt. Zhang Zhiheng is right. You are such a fool. The office door was slammed shut violently. Bai Ningbing slumped to the floor, shaking all over. At this moment, all the clues finally connected. Zhengwan Group's precise strike, Zhang Zhiheng's warning. He grabbed his jacket and dashed out of the door. The receptionist at Kitchen Capital was polite yet aloof. Sorry, mister. Zhang is not in the office. Then when will he be back? I have something urgent. Bai Ningbing's voice was hoarse. I do not know. He was about to barge in. Zhou Ru's figure appeared at the elevator entrance. Miss Bai, his eyes were frighteningly cold. Mister, Zhang will not see you. Please go back. A asterisk is the Zhou. Please. Bai Ningbing's voice was choked with tears. Just give me a few minutes. That is all. 2 security guards in uniform immediately stepped forward and escorted him out, one on each side. The moment he was pushed out the main door, Bai Ningbing finally broke down. He slid down onto the steps, rain mixed with tears streaming down his face. In his mind flashed the look Zhang Zhiheng once gave him. tender and helpless, indulgent, and finally that cold, resolute back. For a despicable substitute, what had he lost? The answer stabbed into his heart like a knife. He had lost the one person in this world who truly treated him well. Outside the floor-to-ceiling window on the top floor of Shengwan Group, the torrential rain had just stopped. The entire city was washed cold and clear. I stood by the window, overlooking the car streams below like toy blocks. The encrypted communicator in my hand transmitted Joru's message. Report calmly, the Nirvana project is ready. The A** evaluation report for Cranberry Tech just arrived. The patented technology is valued at 100 to 200 million. The customer database is valued at 80 million. The laboratory prototype is valued at 30 million. But under the bankruptcy liquidation procedure, we can acquire at most at 30% of the value. I gently swirl the whiskey in my glass. The ice cubes clink with a crisp sound. Too expensive. Joe, hold a meeting immediately. I understand. The bank will put pressure on when the court enforces the auction. The price can be pushed to 10%. Hang up. I turn and walk to my desk. The latest financial newspaper is spread open on the desk. The photo shockingly shows Bai Ningbing collapsed at the entrance of Kitchen Capital, accompanied by the next day's headline, From Peak to Valley, CEO of Cranberry Tech, Wedding Chaos Sparks Business Inquiries. In the photo, his makeup is smudged, the wedding dress covered in mud, looking as pathetic as a madman. Expressionless, I throw the newspaper into the trash. The air conditioning in the law firm is too cold. Bai Ningbing sits stiffly at one end of the long table. Across from her are 3 stern-faced lawyers, and 2 ferocious creditors. Thick documents piled on the table, each one like a knife in a cabinet, waiting to cut off his last bit of hope. Miss Bai, according to the A**esment, Manu Technology is insolvent. The lead lawyer pushes a document over. This is the A**it transfer agreement. Please take a look. His fingers tremble so much he can barely hold it. His blurred vision scans the document. Suddenly, at the acquire column, ang pangunahing tagakuha, Shengwan Group Kumo. Legal na kinatawan ng Wanyo Technology Co. Limited. Autorisadong lagda. Si Zhang Zhiheng ay sumigaw na parang may biglang kulog sa kanyang tainga. Shengwan Group. Yung sumasaklaw sa pananalapi, ang malaking nilalang ng teknolohiya at real estate, yung kahit ang gobyerno ay nagbibigay daan ng 3 bahagi sa imperyo ng negosyo. Si Zhang Zhiheng ay tao ng Shengwan. Hindi, ang kanyang tingin ay nakatitig sa legal na kinatawan. Legal na kinatawan. Biglang natanto ang isang mas nakakatakot na katotohanan. Si Zhang Zhiheng ay hindi tao ng Shengwan. Siya ang may-ari ng Shengwan. Yung tahimik na namuhunan sa kanyang kumpanya, nagtunay para sa kanya. Kahit handang magluto ng lugaw para sa kanya, si Zhang Zhiheng ay siya pala ang nakatagong pinuno ng imperyong ito ng negosyo. Memories come flooding back. He once complained that a certain competitor had an overly powerful backer. The next day, the other side proactively sought reconciliation. He was once overwhelmed with loan troubles. In the blink of an eye, the bank offered the best interest rate. Even the most difficult client, Chuangke Intelligent, after Zhang Zhiheng's casual introduction, became unusually cooperative. So it turns out none of this was luck. It was the person he himself pushed away, who had been silently holding up his entire world. Miss Bai, please sign. The lawyer urged impatiently. The moment the pen tip touched the paper, a tear fell onto Zhang Zhiheng's signature. That sharp, forceful signature was like a knife, shattering his last bit of pride. As soon as he finished signing, his phone began to vibrate wildly. His mother's hysterical crying pierced through the earpiece. The Malaysia nursing home says the house has been repossessed. What is going on? Didn't you say this house was a company perk? Then came a text from the bank. Your credit card ending in 8818 has been frozen. Then from the golf club, dear member, your membership has been terminated. One after another, like carefully orchestrated death notices. From his life, all traces related to Zhang Zhiheng were cleanly cut away. Walking out of the law firm, the sky began to rain again. Bai Ningbing stood in the rain, watching the news flooding her phone. Exclusive, Bai Ningbing, the heroine of the kiddie wedding scandal. Inside story of Manu Technology's bankruptcy. Si again abandons her wealthy fiancé for email A**Easton. Shengwan Group acquires Manu score A**ets at low price. Zhang Zhiheng's identity exposed for the first time. Under every news article, there are thousands of mockers saying serves the gold diggers right for being blind. Turning down a man like Zhang Zhiheng, just to fawn over a kept man. I heard his A**Easton ran off with the money. It is karma. Suddenly a text from Chen Hong popped up on the phone. Don't look for me, you gave me that money willingly. Blame your own stupidity. Rain mixed with tears flowed into the corner of his mouth, bitter and salty. He mechanically walked toward the parking lot, only to find his Porsche already sealed with a notice. The security guard coldly told him this car had been listed as his A**. He searched all his pockets, and only found a crumpled 20 bucks. Kapag sumasakay ng taxi, 3 sunod-sunod na bakanteng taxi ang nakakita sa kanyang kaawa-awang itsura. Lahat ay mabilis na dumaan. Matapos huminto ang ika-4, walang alinlangan na tinanong ng driver kung saan pupunta. Binuksan ni Bai Ningbing ang kanyang bibig. tubig. Biglang natanto na wala siyang mapupuntahan. Wala na ang kumpanya, wala na ang bahay, at ang mga telepono ng mga kaibigan ay hindi na nagsasagot. Sa wakas, binigkas niya ang address ng murang apartment na inuupahan ng kanyang mga magulang. Sa labas ng bintana ng sasakyan, isang malaking LED screen ang nagpapalabas ng balita sa pananalapi. Zhang Zhiheng, ang figurang nakasuot at kurbata ay lumitaw sa screen. Nakatayo siya sa lugar ng paglulunsad ng bagong produkto ng Shanghai Group. Kalmado at hindi nagmamadaling ipinakilala ang pinakabagong henerasyon ng smart home system. Ang sistemang iyon, malinaw na ito ang hindi natapos na pangunahing proyekto ng Manyu Technology. Close up sa kanyang mahahabang daliri. Walang anuman sa kanyang singsing na daliri. Walang bakas ng singsing. Sa wakas ay bumagsak si Bai Ningbing at tinakpan ng kanyang mukha. Umiiyak na parang baliw sa likod ng taxi. Sumulyap ang driver sa kanya mula sa rearview mirror. Tahimik na nilak ang pinto ng kotse. Tapos na ang pagkuha. Inilapag ni Joe Rui ang mga dokumento sa aking mesa. Lahat ng patent at mga kliyente ay nailipat na sa Manyu Technology. Ang kagamitan sa opisina ng Manyu ay isubasta sa susunod na Lunes. Tumango ako. Napako ang aking tingin sa huling dokumento. Iyon ang nursing home kung saan nakatira ang mga magulang ni Bai Ningbing. Dokumento ng paglilipat ng pag-aari. Linisin ito ng maayos. Nag-alinlangan si Joe Rui ng sandali. Nawala lahat ni Chen Hong sa kasino ng Macau kagabi. Ngayon ay may utang siya sa mga loan shark. Bahagya kong inalag ang baso ng alak. Kumuha ng ilang litrato at ipadala kay Bai Ningbing. Dapat ba nating iligtas ang kanyang buhay? Ang lamig ng yelo ay dumaan sa salamin hanggang sa aking mga daliri. Tumingin ako sa bintana. Nakikita ang madilim na langit. Hayaan siyang mabuhay. Minsan, ang mabuhay ay mas masakit kaysa mamatay. Tulad ngayon ni Bai Ningbing. Wala siyang anuman. Pinakasila lahat, hindi lang mahal sa buhay. Kahit ang huling dahilan na panlilin lang sa sarili ay nakilit ng pira-piraso. Ito ang tunay na parusa. Itinaas ko ang baso ng alak. Bahagyang sumenya sa lungsod na may mga maningning na ilaw sa labas ng bintana. Pagkatapos ay inubos ko ang whiskey sa pamamagitan ng pagtaas ng ulo. Ang pakiramdam ng pag-iinit sa lalamunan. Masarap na parang isang huling paghihiganti. Ang mga ilaw ng Yunding Club ay kumikislap na gintong liwanag sa gabing maulan. The private dinner has just ended. Several executives from multinational groups are crowding. Around me, moving toward the entrance, Joe Rui opens a black umbrella, skillfully blocking the scattered rain droplets. Director Shang's cooperation plan for the Southeast Asian market. I raise my hand to interrupt the other's polite remarks. My gaze falls on the shadows under the club steps. A thin figure is curled up in the rain. Like an abandoned stray dog. Long black hair wetly clings to the face. The faded old coat is soaked by the rain. Tightly wrapping around the body, he shivers, hugging his arms. His lips are frozen purple, but stubbornly stares at the direction of the club entrance. Bai Ningbing, I slightly squint. Haven't seen him in 3 months. He has become almost unrecognizably thin. His eye sockets are deeply sunken. Ang mga dating mapagmataas at maliwanag na mga mata ay ngayon ay puno ng pulang guhit. Parang dalawang nakatigil na tubig. Sa sandaling makita ako ni Zhang Zhiheng. Sa kanyang bigong mga mata, biglang lumitaw ang isang sakit na liwanag. Agad na hamarang ang security guard. Itinaas ko ang aking kamay at gumawa ng maliit na senadoryas. Ang kilos na yun ay parang nagbukas ng isang switch. Si Bai Ning ay malamig na sumugod. Ngunit natisod sa harap ng hagdan. Malakas na bumagsak sa naipong tubig. Ang kanyang sakit na pumipigil sa kanyang paggalaw. Gumagapang siya gamit ang kamay at paa patungo sa aking mga paa. Ang nanginginig na mga daliri ay mahigpit na kumapit sa laylayan ng aking pantalon. Zhang Zhiheng, Zhang Zhiheng. Mali ako, ang kanyang boses ay namamaos na hindi na maayos. Halo ng ulan at luha. Talagang alam kong mali ako. Ako ay naging bulag. Ako ay napakatanga at walang saysay. Hindi ako dapat naging nahumaling. For that scoundrel Chen Hong who abandoned me. I should not have trampled on your true feelings. I should not have been so arrogant. I should not have taken your kindness for granted. The surrounding executives tacitly stepped back, creating a vacuum around him. Rain drips along the edge of the umbrella, splashing into small puddles around him. The company is gone. The money is gone. The home is gone. He looks up, revealing his pale neck, like a prisoner retracing his steps. Everyone laughs at me, calling me deserving. I have nothing at all. I only have you left. His fingers tighten, his knuckles turning white. I know I am not worthy of you. Pinagmarumi ko ang mga mata mo. Ngunit sana, sa ngalan ng ating 5 taong pagmamahalan. At sa pag-alaala na minsan kitang minahal ng tapat, ang huling pantig ay pumutok sa lalamunan. Bigla siyang yumuko. Ang kanyang noo ay mabigat na bumagsak sa basa-basang lupa. Pakiusap, bigyan mo ako ng isang pagkakataon. Kahit na bilang isang katulong sa tabi mo. Nakikiusap ako sa iyo. Ang babaeng ito na dating mapagmataas hanggang sa punto ng kayabangan. Ngayon ay parang asong walang tahanan na gumagapang sa aking paanan. Durog ang dignidad. Nagpakumbaba hanggang sa lupa. Tahimik ko siyang pinapanood. Bigla kong naramdaman na walang saysay. Dahan-dahan akong yumuko. Ang itim na guwantes na katad ay pinisilang kanyang baba. Pinilit siyang tumingala. Ang pagkilos na ito, nagdulot ito ng kislap ng pag-asa sa kanyang mga mata. Nakakaawa, bakit ka umiiyak? Napakababa ng boses ko, pero nanginginig siya ng todo. Pinipilit ko ang aking mga daliri. Nag-iwan ng pulang marka sa kanyang maputlang balat. Hindi ba sinundo mo ang pinakamahalaga mong A*instant? Binigyang diin ko ang salitang pinakamahalaga. Parang kutsilyo na tumusok sa kanyang sugatan at wasak na puso. Bumukha ang kanyang bibig. Isang hagulgol na parang maliit na hayop ang lumabas sa kanyang lalamunan. Nasaan na siya ngayon? Lumapit ako sa kanyang tainga. Ang aking hininga ay dumampi sa kanyang malamig na tainga. Makakatulong ba yan na mabawi ang bangkalot ang kumpanya mo sa pamamagitan ng pag-iyak? O kayang protektahan ka mula sa bagyo? Ang mga salitang ito ang tuluyang pumuksa sa kanya. Bumagsak siya sa lupa. Parang basura na walang gulugod. Ngunit ang kanyang mga daliri ay matigas pa rin nakahawak sa lilian ng aking pantalon. Tumayo ako. Isa-isa kong binuksan ang kanyang mga daliri. Ang tunog ng pagkiskas ng balat at balat. Sa gabing maulan, napakalinaw. Ang kasalay na antala ng isang oras nang mabuksan ang huling daliri. Tiningnan ko siya mula sa itaas, hindi, mula sa sandaling pinili mo siya. Ikaw ay tuluyan ng wala sa laro. Sa sandali ng pagtalikod, siya ay sumigaw ng napakasakit na daing. Zhang Zhiheng, pakiusap. Hinadlangan ng pintuan ng kotse ang lahat ng tunog. Ang makina ng Rolls-Royce ay naglabas ng mababang dagandong. Sa rearview mirror, ang figurang iyon ay paliit ng paliit. Sa wakas ay nawala sa dilim. Joe Ruedi, dalhin ng mainit na tuwalya. Nakuha ito ng mga reporter. Oo, pinunasan ko ang ulan na nadikit sa guwantes. Bigla kong naalala ang unang pagkikita ko kay Bai Ningbing 5 taon na ang nakakaraan. Eksena ni Bing. Iyon ay noong siya ay kababigo lang sa kanyang negosyo. Ngunit matigas ang ulo niyang nakatataas ang baba at nagsabi, I will definitely succeed next time. Sunlight fell on his eyelashes, like a butterfly about to take flight. Thinking back, it was just a clumsy illusion. Back at the company, the car window rolled up, completely shutting out the rainy night. The direction where the luxury car's taillights disappeared. Rain mixed with blood flowed into the corner of his mouth. Bai Ningbing did not know when he had bitten his lip, and did not know how long he had been kneeling. At the entrance of the club, several strangers holding up their phones, pointing and whispering about him. Camera flashes went off from time to time. That Bai Niu is really contemptible. For the sake of a pretty boy, she threw away a wealthy spouse. Deserves to go bankrupt. He stood up shakily, but realized there was nowhere to go. The cheap apartment his parents rented. Last month, they had already cut ties with him. Ever since news of the bankruptcy spread among friends, no one answered their phones. The phone in his pocket suddenly vibrated. It was an MMS from an unknown number. The moment he opened it, he was thunderstruck. In the photo, Zhiheng, her face covered in blood, kneeling in a corner of the casino, being held down by several burly men. The caption, debts must be repaid. It is only right and proper. The last one was a close-up of him being pressed against the gambling table. Those eyes that once reminded him of his first love. Now only naked fear and despicability remained. The phone slipped into the puddle, making a soft plopping sound. Bai Ningbing suddenly laughed. The laughter grew louder and louder, finally turned into hysterical screams, scared the onlookers into retreating. He really has gone mad. Mad enough for such a piece of trash. Lost the person who loved him most in the world. Rain washes over the face. Can no longer tell if it is crying or laughing. In the distance, a police siren is faintly heard, but he knows no one will ever come to save him again. The fleeting affection is worth less than dra. The floor-to-ceiling windows of the top floor office in Shengwan Tower. Outside the window are the lights of the entire city. Zhu Rui knocks and enters. In a calm voice, he says Miss Bai is downstairs and wants to see you. I did not even lift my head. Continued flipping through the file, telling him to leave. Security has stopped him 3 times already. Zhu Rui paused for a moment. He refuses to leave. Says he can wait until you are willing to see him. Isinasara ko ang file. Tumingala ako sa bintana, 3 buwan na. Simula noong gabing iyon ng ulan. Si Bai Ningbing ay tuluyang nawala sa aking mundo. Hanggang ngayon, papasukin mo siya. Tingnan natin kung ano pang mga nakakatawang salita ang kaya niyang sabihin. Ang pinto ng opisina ay marahang binuksan. Si Bai Ningbing ay nakatayo sa pintuan. Mas lalo siyang pagod kumpara noong huli naming pagkikita. Nakasuot siya ng simpleng puting damit at itim na pantalon. Ang mga kulot na dating inaalagaan, ngayon ay basta na lang nakatali sa likod. Walang makeup sa kanyang mukha. Maitim ang ilalim ng kanyang mga mata. Siya ay pamayat ng husto. Ang kanyang mga palso ay manipis na parang madaling mabali. Ang buong katawan niya ay parang papel na pinatuyo ng tubig. Mapatla at marupok. Isang gambilang, nasa sayo na, ngunit lumiwanag ang kanyang mga mata. Ang alalay ay nakatitig ng mahigpit sa akin. Parang hinawakan ng huling dayami, Zhang Zhiheng. Ang kanyang boses ay napakahimik, may maingat na panginginig. Hindi ako tumayo, hindi ko rin siya inupo, tiningnan ko lang siya ng malamig. May kailangan ka. Para siyang nasaktan ng aking tono. Hindi sinasadyang hinigpitan ng kanyang mga daliri ang laylayan ng damit, ngunit mabilis din itong binitawan. Humugat siya ng malalim na hininga. Lumapit siya sa aking mesa. Matagal akong nag-isip, mababa ang boses niya. Nitong mga nakaraang buwan, araw-araw akong nagsisisi na hindi ako nagsalita. Namumula ang kanyang mga mata, pero pinigilan niyang umiyak. I was wrong, Zhang Zhiheng. I really know I was wrong. I should not have abandoned you for Zhiheng. I should not have taken your efforts for granted. Even as should I have embarrassed you at the wedding. His fingers gently rested on the edge of the table, only to see them turn white from pressure. The stupidest thing I have ever done in my life was to lose you for a piece of trash. I let out a cold laugh, finally spoke. So, he seemed stung by my indifference, but still stubbornly continued. I know nothing I say now will help, but I still want to tell you, the person I love has always been Zhiheng. I just treated him as Zhang Feng's substitute. I could not distinguish my own feelings. I was too stupid, but now I understand. You are the only one I love. He lifts his head. Tears finally fall. I do not want anything anymore. Zhang Zhiheng's company. I can give up fame and money. I just want to stay by your side, even if it is just as a servant, as a secretary. Even if you do not want me, I can do anything. If you do not trust me, I can sign a prenuptial agreement. I can give up all property. I want nothing, as long as you. His voice grows softer. In the end, it almost became a plea. Please give me one chance. Just one chance. The office fell into dead silence. I look at his tear-streaked face. Suddenly, it feels absurd. Bai Ningbing, who was once arrogantly proud, now has been humbled to the dust. Begging me for a little bit of love, how ridiculous. I slowly stand up and walk to him. He looks up at me. his eyes full of hope. I reach out and hold his chin, with a force neither light nor heavy, but it makes his whole body tremble. Belated love is worthless. I whisper, Bai Ningbing, why did not you do this, liar? His pupils contract sharply, as if stabbed by a knife. I gave you a chance on the wedding day. I let go of my hand, turned and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window. Zhang Zhiheng, you chose this yourself. His voice trembled. I really know I was wrong. You know you were wrong, so what? I did not even look back. Do you think an apology can erase everything? I can make it up to you. I can. How can you make it up to me? My dignity, my sincerity, or the wedding you ruined. He stood there, pale. I turned around, watching him look like he was about to collapse. I suddenly felt exhausted. Go! Don't make me call security. He did not move from where he stood. Tears silently streamed down his face. After a long time, he finally spoke, his voice hoarse. You really do not love me at all anymore. Hey, right now, in my eyes, you are worth less than stacks of cash. He stumbled. He nearly lost his balance. He raised his hand to wipe away his tears. He forced a smile that was even uglier than crying. Sorry for bothering you. He turned and left. His back was as thin as a sheet of paper. The office door gently closed, with a soft click. I stood there, looking at the brightly lit city outside the window. Suddenly I remembered 5 years ago, the first time I saw him. Sunlight fell on the tips of his hair. He lifted his chin and said, Zhang Zhiheng, I will definitely succeed. At that time, there was light in his eyes. At ngayon, ang sinag ng liwanag na iyon ay tuluyan ng namatay. Sa sandaling sumara ang pinto ng elevator. Sa wakas ay napahandusay si Bai Ningbing sa sahig. Mahigpit niyang kinagat ang kanyang labi. Hindi pinapayagan ng sarili na umiyak ng malakas. Ngunit ang mga luha ay hindi mapigil ang bumagsak. Ang sakit ng puso ay parang may naghukay ng isang bahagi nito. Walang laman. Napuno ng malamig na hangin. Sa wakas ay naintindihan niya ang ilang mga pagkakamali kapag nagawa. Wala nang pagkakataon upang ayusin. Ayaw na siya ni Zhang Zhiheng. Hindi na siya gusto kailanman. Dumating ang elevator sa unang palapag. Dahan-daang bumukas ang pinto. Tumayo siya ng pasuray-suray. Lumabas siya ng gusali. Malamig ang hangin sa gabi. Tumama sa mukha na parang kutsilyo. Itinaas niya ang kanyang ulo. At tumingin sa mga ilaw sa tuktok ng Shengwan Building. Maliwanag daw na parang araw. Pero wala na siyang pwesto. Lumingon siya at pumasok sa kadiliman ng gabi. Sa pagkakataong ito, tunay na tapos na. Ang mga spotlight sa International Convention Center ay nakakasilaw at nakakapaso. Nakatayo ako sa entablado ng talumpati. Sa likod ko, sa malaking screen, nakalagay ang logo ng Shengwan Group. Sa ibaba, puno ng mga kinatawan ng nangungunang pandaigdigang kumpanya. Ang mga camera lens ay parang itim na mga mata, na naghahatid ng bawat salita ko sa buong mundo. Ang Shengwan Smart Home System ay ilulunsad sa panahon ng tag-init. Ang aking boses ay kumalat sa buong venue sa pamamagitan ng mikropono. Ang sistemang ito ay nagsasama ng pinakabagong AI, teknolohiya sa mundo. Ang core algorithm nito ay nakatanggap ng 27 international patents. Nag-zoom ang camera sa aking kanang singsing na daliri, malinis at walang suot, walang anumang bakas. Sumambulat ang palakpakan ng mga tao na parang kulog. Ayon sa ulat, ang sistemang ito ay nagmula sa bangkaroteng Cranberry Tech. Isang mamamahayag ang biglang nagtanong. Natahimik ang buong lugar. Ngumiti ako ng bahagya. Inilibot ko ang tingin sa walang pakundangang mamamahayag. Ang bawat teknolohiyang nakuha ng Shengwan ay dumaan sa legal na proseso kung bakit nag-bankrupt ang dating may-ari. Ang paghinto ay nasa tamang oras. Marahil ay dapat nilang tanungin ang kanilang sariling mga desisyon sa negosyo. Nagkaroon ng mahinang tawanan na may pagkakaintindihan sa lugar. Naalala ng lahat ang iskandalong yumanig sa mundo ng negosyo. Ang Nokia ay tumakas sa kasal para sa katulong na nasa kagipitan. Sa huli ay nagdulot ng pagbagsak ng kumpanya. Habang bumababa ako ng entablado, binigyan ako ni Joe Rui ng tablet. Ang presyo ng stock ng One New Technology ay tumaas ng 17%. Tiningnan ko ito ng saglit. Pumirma lang ng ilang dokumento. Handa na ang cocktail party. Lahat ay handa na. Ang champagne pyramid ay kumikinang sa ilalim ng kristal na ilaw. Sa cocktail party, nakikipag-usap ako sa CEO ng German Industrial Group. Isang babaeng nakasuot ng dark green na mahabang damit. Dahan-daang lumalapit. Director Zhang, tagal ko nang hinahangaan. Itinaas niya ang kanyang baso. Ang mamahaling diamond wristwatch ay tahimik na kumikinang. Ako si Lin Wan mula sa Kerry Investment. Ako si Han Shuzei. Lin Wan, ang pinakabatang Chinese investment director sa Wall Street. Kamakailan lang siya umuwi sa bansa at nagtatag ng sarili niyang fund company. Matalino at maganda. Ang kanyang mga mata ay may tamang antas ng ambisyon. Nabalitaan ko na may bagong plano ang Shengwan sa Southeast Asia. Sumingsin siya ng champagne. Bahagyang humiti ang kanyang labi. Maaaring may puwang tayo para sa pakikipagtulungan. Masayang nag-usap kami. Mahusay siyang magsalita. Ang kanyang mga pananaw sa merkado ay natatangi at matalas. Ang kanyang paminsan-minsang pagpapatawa ay kontrolado rin. Ang financial news ay nag-eye-scroll sa malaking screen sa background. Ang Huanyu technology ni Shanghai ay isinasama ang Mangyo. Mga pangunahing A**, isang bagong henerasyon ng smart home platform ay malapit ng ilabas. Si Joe Rui ay lumilitaw sa tamang oras. Bulong niya sa akin ang susunod na schedule. Si Shipei at ako ay nag-toast kay Lin Wan. Ngumiti siya, pawis ang kanyang mga kamay. Inaabangan ng susunod na pagkikita. Sa pag-ikot ko, nakita ko ang kumikislap na kamera sa sulok ng bulwagan. Ang mga chismis na reporter ay laging pumapasok sa bawat butas. Bukas, ang headline ay maaaring mag-isip tungkol sa relasyon ko kay Lin Man. Hindi bale, sira ang heater sa inuupahang bahay. Bai Ningbing, wrapped in an old blanket picked up from a second-hand market. Her fingers stiff from cold. The 10 square meter room is cold cold and damp. The paint is peeling off the walls. Outside the window is a gray, impoverished neighborhood street. The laptop screen gives off a cold glow. Playing a replay of an international finance summit, Zhang Zhiheng in the picture wears a sharp suit. Every move he makes exudes the calm of someone in control. The camera zooms in on his slender fingers. That wedding ring that once belonged to him is long gone. Sheng will continue to uphold innovation and responsibility. Zhang Zhiheng's voice comes out of the speaker, clear and powerful, as if from another world. Bai Ningbing stares blankly at the screen. Tears silently stream down. 3 months ago, he was still the glorious CEO of a tech company. But now he is just a clerk in a small company, doing the most basic data entry work. His salary barely enough to cover the rent. His parents refuse to answer his calls. All his friends have disappeared. Even Chen Hong took his last savings and fled abroad. It is said he owed loan sharks in Macau and had his legs broken. His trembling fingers touched the screen. Zhang Zhiheng's image slightly twisted under his fingertips. How ridiculous. He once had the most precious love in this world. That man standing at the top of the business empire was once willing to lower himself for him, wash his hands and cook for him, but for a despicable substitute. He personally pushed him away. A notification suddenly popped up on the computer. Business drama. Zhang Zhiheng and the beautiful investor Lin Manxiang were having a pleasant conversation. New romance exposed. The accompanying picture is from a cocktail party. A scene of Zhang Zhiheng and Lin Manxiang raising their glass and looking at each other. Both are radiant and dazzling, like a perfect couple, but a cold shadow descends. The darkness of the computer screen enveloped the small room. He curled up in the corner, hugging his knees tightly. Finally, he let out a long suppressed sigh. It is not that Zhang Zhiheng is heartless. It is that he does not deserve it. The camera slowly pulls back. In the shabby rental room, a woman curled up in the shadows, trembling, and frozen on the screen is the man's radiant smiling face under the spotlight. Two worlds that will never intersect.